I believe we are, yeah, we live, and we are in the building. Y'all don't need to see that. What's going on, good people? What's up? Welcome to the show. Welcome back. We are in here. Took yesterday off, but it was a video that I made private previously that I went on and made it available for you guys. So hopefully if you just wanted to see my face yesterday, hopefully you got a little something out the deal. You got a little something out the deal. The late night video that I did, I made it available in the morning. But we're about to get things going. Still dotting some I's and still crossing some T's in here. But shout out to everybody that's in the building. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit the like button. Dang, I'm looking at my thumbnail. This ain't even cropped right. Okay. That's no big deal. No big deal. I'll touch that up when I can. Just checking the audio. Hit the like button. The 26 people came in right off the initial click. Make sure you hit the like button. I gotta do some cropping. Gotta do a few things, but never mind. Don't worry about that. That's my business. I'll get into that. I'll fix that. But all right, let's get ready to go. Let's get it started. Thank you, everybody in the building. Hit the like button. Let's get ready to roll. Let's go. Let's get it.
Peace, folks. This is X from TPOT Media. Open your mind and wake your black ass up. You know what time it is. Hit that damn like button as you make your way in the door. Grab a seat, settle in, get ready. It's the Grown Man Hour with your host, my man, Bernard Riley.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Mumia Obsidian Ali. You know who I am. I need no introduction, right? And you're listening to the Grown Man Hour with my man Bernard Riley, heard weekdays right here on YouTube. What do you think about that? How about that? Now let's get back on with the show. Thank you.
What's up? Welcome to the show. Welcome back. Shout out to the early bird squad, as I call it, those that make it in bright and early, who drop a comment, hopefully a like. Before we even get things started here, appreciate each and every one of you. We're about to get this thing started. Shout out to everybody. Let's see. Get that going right there. Shout out to RM in the building with the first comment. Says, hola, Bernard Riley. Fam. Aaron B in the building. Omega Dread says, man, could give a rat's ass. That's how I feel about it. Now, it may be some larger scale social implications, but not really. And I'm going to break down why. because the genie is out the bag. I mean, the genie is out the. Damn. What do genies walk around in? What do you call it? Help me out. The cat is out the bag. Pandora is out the box. The genie is out the. I'm having a brain fart. Help me out in the chat. I'm looking. Bottle? It's a more sophisticated word for it than bottle. Yeah, sure. Just bottle. Somebody said lamp. I thought it had a more sophisticated word. But yeah, genie in a bottle. Okay. All right. Somebody said lamp. All right. I thought it was a more sophisticated word, but the genie is out the bottle. The cat is out the bag. Pandora is out the box. There will always be a place for women to sell their nether regions on the internet. That ain't going nowhere. That will not go anywhere. So it's really not that big of a deal. It shouldn't be that big of a deal to you personally. It should, but on the overall grand scheme of things, those who are successful on there will figure out another way to be successful at selling their parts. Those are the major top earners on there. They're going to get that money. They're going to make that. They're going to get the bag no matter what. They have Instagram pages. They got the money to make their own website. They could advertise their Instagram to their, OnlyFans with just a really big moniker that says, hey, we got it all under one roof. You can come here to one-stop place to shop. That's what OnlyFans really was. But they could start their own website and be like, hey, come to my website. Hey, I got the same stuff over here. I'm playing peekaboo with you on Instagram, but if you want to see the real thing and talk to me and interact with me, come on. Let's do it. So they could still do that. So that ain't going nowhere. But shout out to Logan JJ, says happy and safe Friday to all. PSA, Walmart is always hiring, ladies. Now, the Walmart, and shout out to Kevin Samuels with the Subway is hiring. He said it real funny. He said when he posted that OnlyFans is shutting some things down, he said, and in a related story, Subway just received a record number of applications. He said something like that. I'm paraphrasing. But I think that is true for the chicks who was, making $800 a month on it, $600 a month. Nah, even the ones who was able to swing $1,200 a month. I could see how they, might need to go put in that application at Walmart. I can see that one. Paul Game in the building. Paul Game trademark in the building. Shout out to you. Appreciate you coming on through. Zeno FHD TV says I already started handing out Subway applications on Instagram. Oh yeah. Demetrius in the building. Shout out to you. RM says I got the best job in the world. I'm a PhD. No, just playing. She's strong, independent, don't need no man. I'm messing with you. RM cool. She cool, people. She cool. Queen Q in the building. Logan JJ. We're going to see a lot of female Lyft and Uber drivers in a few months. I think that's a fair assessment that, again, we're not talking about the top earners. The top earners, they made their money, they're going to be okay. It's the middle of the pack earners. I'm going to break down the data and show how it all aggregates. How most of them not making no money. The average person, the average account makes $145, but the average YouTuber don't make no money either. But then there are those who are at the top of the top. Then there are those who are, who would be considered, middle class on the YouTube bracket. I might be in that category. I don't know exactly where. I don't even know how that breaks down. But I got the breakdown of how how OnlyFans actually, how it aggregates, how it shows how the top 1% make 33% of the money on there. The top 1% makes 33% of the money on there. And that goes to what Jesse is saying right here. He's saying all of a sudden these chicks be submitting now. I don't know if that's the thing. I mean, the top 1% that's making the bank on there, they ain't, That's where the conversation gets goofy to me. To me, and somebody can prove me wrong on that. That conversation gets goofy to me because, I mean, are you really in the market for an OnlyFans chick who got some guy who comes and claps her cheeks on the internet for money? I mean, that, you glad she coming back to the table? What table and for what reason? Like, um, I, I don't see it. I don't. I'm not looking forward to that. Thank you. That's nothing that I'm, waiting in the weeds for. I don't get I don't get me up a little earlier in the morning, you know, because I'm skeptical of how many chicks. Okay, again, it's important to break down the middle of the pack or the bottom feeders. Remember that $144 a month? That's extreme poverty. If you're making $144 doing something, you have a hobby. Okay, that's a hobby. You are engaging in a hobby. All right. That's not a career. That's not a business. If you're making $800 a month doing it, still kind of hobby-ish, but that is some decent part-time income. But they shut down that part-time income. Oh, now she's gonna change her whole outlook on life and be some submissive woman. Like, no. I doubt that. It does. It changes the game for some. It does change the game for some, but we'll get into all that. And I got a number of things I'm about to get into with this as well. But the Mac Trucker in the building, OnlyFans is just going to turn into a foot fetish website. You reading my mind? You're reading my mind. I'm going to get to the. Actually, I'm just going to pull the article right up. I'm going to pull the article right up because the Mac the Trucker is on point. The Mac the Trucker is on point with that comment. Shout out to Snuggles in the building. Appreciate you coming through, Snuggles. Snuggles.
Hi, I'm Snuggle. Snuggly softness. That's really less expensive.
What? Bernard, when OnlyFans goes legit. By go legit, you mean get rid of X-rated content? Okay. Are you going to be setting up an OnlyFans account so you can have your own Rumble? I don't know what the hell you mean by Rumble, where you cannot get flagged. I think if I got to decode what the hell Snuggles is talking about, I believe she is saying that will be a potential place that I can go and do content where people could say whatever crazy thing they want to say and not worry about getting taken down. No. If that was the case, I could do that right now. But I don't know. I don't know that OnlyFans is a good medium for YouTube type content. I don't know. I have not looked into that, and I probably won't look into that. I'll more sooner create my own website for it before I do something of the sorts. But anyway, Professor Black Ops in the building, cybersecurity for the people. OnlyFans. Females come get this intro cybersecurity class, the cyber bag. All right. He's advertising a cyber bag. He's advertising a cyber bag. Kayadu says winter is here. Shout out to you. Appreciate the $25 super chat, though. I don't really know what you're talking about. Don't know exactly what you're talking about there, but hopefully somebody knows what you're talking about. You pay $25 for that, so hopefully you hopefully somebody notices it and goes and gets that cyber bag. All right, I'm back. I had to take a little break in the action. I had an incident. Had an incident that I had to take care of. I'm not even gonna. I normally when that happened, I actually take the time to explain to y'all exactly what it was that I had to do, but I'm not doing it this time. Better not tell nobody but God. But all right, I had to take care of something. But it's taken care of. It is taken care of. But all right. Sweet Melody Speaks in the building says, "Oh man, just when I was thinking about starting one." Ha. Go ahead, do your thing. Do your thing. Do your thing. Shout out to Melody. Appreciate the super chat. Appreciate the super chat. All right. Sorry for that delay. Let me get into, let me pull up some articles. Let's see. Pull up some articles. Just for those of you, there's a couple of them that I got to pull up. For those of you that don't know the finer details. I'll break this down. Shout out to Melody once again. Appreciate the super chat. But let's go over. Let's go over a couple of things, but just in general before I get. And this is my position that there will always be a percentage of men that's women are going to find a way to get. They're gonna find a way to get it. OnlyFans was just the hot spot of the moment. They will find a way. But anyway, here we go. I want to make it a little bigger so y'all don't think I'm just making words up. But anyway, OnlyFans is known specifically for being a platform for adult content. On October 1st, this will change. The London-based company released a statement announcing that content creators will be blocked from posting adult content soon. Adult content, that's a key thing y'all want to file and weigh in the back of your mind right there, because it's going to get some little tricky language. They told Input, effective October 1st, OnlyFans will prohibit the posting of any content containing sexually explicit conduct in order to ensure long-term sustainability of the platform and to continue to host an exclusive community of creators and fans. Now they're talking about the long-term sustainability of the platform. We're going to find out exactly what they mean by that. We must evolve our content guidelines. Creators will continue to be allowed to post content containing nudity as long as it is consistent with our acceptable use policy. These changes are to comply with the request. This is the important part. Request of our banking partners and payout providers. We will be sharing more details in the coming days, and we will actively support and guide our creators through this change in the content. Basically, the people who got the money they having problem with it. Wait, hold on. Let me make sure I get the right part, because it's basically people who it's advertisement dollars. It's all kinds of stuff that it's companies that can investors and people that can provide big money to them that don't want to be attached to basically a porn site. That's essentially what it comes down to. It's about the money. You want to know why they make company changes like that? It's about following the money. It's not about morals. It's not, it's simply about they can make their money through the individual throwing them some money, sort of like the same thing with YouTube to some degree. Like YouTube, yeah, it makes its money off the super chats, but it also make money off advertisers. So if the advertisers are saying that, hey, we don't like some of this content that y'all are doing here, We don't want our ads playing before the videos. We don't want to be associated. We don't want this stink on our name. So we're going to pull it back. And they could say, okay, fine, pull it back. The viewers, the fans, the people who put the fan in OnlyFans are the ones who are paying the bills, because we get 20% of the proceeds that they send. But somewhere along the way, they figuring they'll make more money and have more long-term sustainability by getting in cahoots with big people with big money that's going to invest big money in them, versus going with the model of the individual person funding them. That's essentially what is going on there. Users will still be able to post nude photos. This is the interesting part. Users will still be able to post nude photos and videos, but will be prohibited from posting content with sexually explicit content. Now, if that ain't some vague language there, like she can show her nipples, but she can't show somebody fondling the nipple, like that's where it gets weird. That's where it gets weird and essentially just to the point of being, pointless. That's part of the reason why I say it's not a big deal. For two reasons. One, they're still going to be able to show nudity, which goes back to what Mac the Trucker said. It's going to turn into a foot fetish site. It's going to turn into just, they're going to be basically your favorite Instagram model that you like to see twerk. You're still going to be able to talk to her. You're still going to be able to go on there and send her money and have her look in the camera and say your name real slow. And you're still going to be able to do all of that. And she's going to be able to flash her nipples. Now, she may not be able to show her vag. She may not be able to do that. That may not comply. Because if it's going to be nudity, I'm assuming it will be the same type of nudity that you see in an R-rated movie. And you do see a lot of nudity in an R-rated movie. I mean, you see butt cheeks and nipples and stuff, but you're probably not going to be able to see no full-blown vag opened up with, to the fingers spreading it open like that. You probably won't be able to see that. But as far as interaction with the guys, and guys coming on there and enjoying the content, enjoying the creator and all of that, that's still going to happen. And that makes no sense to me. And we just recently had a big, some big debates going on. Started from with Abba and Preach and Fresh and Fit about, tricking, to trick or not to trick, of which I don't trick, but I understand the tricking. I don't see nothing wrong with it. I don't see nothing wrong with it. Different guys are going to do it for different reasons. And actually, Kevin Samuels weighed in on that subject pretty heavy last night as well. Kevin Samuels weighed in on that pretty heavy last night as well. And I think we all know where he's standing with it, that there's nothing wrong with it. He talked about the high-end escort game and all of that. It's just so. I just think it's a pointless debate. Either do it or you don't. Clue just said, I prefer tricking over game. I think most people in many ways do a little. Well, you gotta, if you approach a woman and you have sex with her without handing her money in exchange for the sex, you've used game. If you hand her money in exchange for it, you still have to have some game about yourself. You got to have some knowledge. You got to have some understanding, because if you just go in stupid and not really thinking, yeah, she probably gonna, you're probably gonna be overpaying for some herpes. But either way, I mean, it's not a big deal to me that some people do it. It's not a big deal at all. He says, nah, people will keep talking about that in the rotation. I'm pretty much done with it. Shout out to Soul Provider. I'm pretty much done with it. I got nothing else to say on it. We went round and round about with it again. It will come back, but as of right now, I am through with the topic. I am done with that topic. I am. But anyway, back to the article. What is it saying here? This comes as a shock because OnlyFans have been thriving because of the very content they are banning. The company boasts over 130 million users. That's a lot. Excuse me. That's a lot. But I mean, globally, though. It's out of the UK. I didn't even know that. But globally, I guess 130 million users and raked in over 2 billion in sales last year. Bloomberg noted it was estimated that the brand would earn 1.2 billion this year and another 2.5 billion in 2022 had they kept everything going, had they kept the party rolling. OnlyFans content creators have earned over $3 billion on its platform in total since it was established, with over 300 users earning 1 million a year. That is significant. That is significant right there, because all that money that they're talking about, you know, not talking about wealth transfer from men to women, goddamn. But anyway, all that money that they're talking about right there, you know, the 2 billion, well, you know, it says over 2 billion in sales. It was estimated that the brand would earn 1.2 billion this year. So, you know, I'm looking at this from the perspective, just, you know, I'm looking at that $1.2 billion. I'm looking at the 300 million going to the top content creators on there. It's essentially a situation where, yeah, only the top producers on there are really making money. And I'm sure the top 5% is doing well also. But when it says OnlyFans content creators have earned over $3 billion on this platform in total since it was established, with over 300 users earning $1 million, you can kind of see how the numbers are aggregated. I'm going to pull up another article that breaks it down a little better, that explains it a little better. This change is fueled by the company wanting to raise money from outside investors. That's what I was talking about. This is fueled by the company wanting to raise money from outside investors. So you see, they want to get that money, that big lump sum in bulk money. That's the money that they want to get. They want to get money from investors. They don't want the little $20 here, $50 there, $5, you know, $1, $2, $3 from the consumer. They want the big money from the investors. That's what they feel is business-wise, long-term, and sustainable. And in order to get there, they have to not be a porn site. That's essentially what's going on here. That's essentially the game. That's the game in a nutshell right there. This fueled by the company wanting to raise money from outside investors who are prohibited from doing business with an adult site, or just hesitant. Investors are also concerned about adult content being so accessible to minors. No, they're not. Now they're OnlyFans. It's about the money. It's all about the money. That was a little throw-in line just to make it seem like it's about morals. No, it's about the money. Now that OnlyFans will be moving away from sexually explicit content, it will be more focused on providing a platform for musicians and other types of content creators. So, you know, that's the story. That's what they're saying. And, you know, it's pretty straightforward. No, Shane, they don't want your $2. They don't want your $2, man. Nah, they good on that. It says OnlyFans wants to be the new pay-per-view. I don't know how you gathered that. That could be true, but shout out to you. Appreciate the $5 super chat. Now let's see. Let's pull up this other article that does a more precise aggregate and breakdown of how the lovely ladies of OnlyFans get paid. All right, let me zoom. OnlyFans is a content subscription service founded in 2016 by a British tech entrepreneur and investor, Timothy Stokely, in London. Yeah, I didn't know all of that. I did not know all of that. Let's see. Who uses OnlyFans? OnlyFans can be used by anyone. OnlyFans is a home to writers, poets, inspirational artists, and women who pop pussy. Okay, just go ahead and say it. Quit bullshitting us. Okay, but the site is more commonly known for being a content hub for sex workers, porn stars, and more. Since OnlyFans lets people post content that would get them banned on other social media sites. You think somebody who didn't sit back, somebody rich who know how to create a streaming service like that, didn't sit back and look at this and say, if they don't want to be the hub for pussy popping on the internet, I'm going to steal their business model and do the same thing. Somebody's going to do that. Somebody's going to do that. There's no questions asked there. That's why I'm like, this is not going to be a big deal in the long run. Sort of like in Jurassic Park when Jeff Goldblum played, Ian Malcolm played by Jeff Goldblum, when they said, how are the dinosaurs in Jurassic Park going to reproduce in an unsanctioned, organized, just natural way, just out in nature, running around? How are they going to reproduce out in nature? Because Dr. Wu said we control all the reproduction in Jurassic Park. And Jeff Goldblum, Ian Malcolm played by Jeff Goldblum, very eloquently said, life finds a way. And life did find a way. And they did ultimately reproduce. So what I'm saying, thoughts will find a way. Sex workers will find a way. Prostitutes will find a way. Porn stars will find a way. They're going to find a way. All right. How much can you earn on OnlyFans? Good question there. Soul Provider, man, don't even see. I can dork out with you on that one, man. The new Jurassic Park movies are lame. They are. They quit. They're not even making dinosaur movies. They essentially just making monster movies. It don't even feel like dinosaurs. They're not even trying. The first Jurassic Park movie was very insightful and thoughtful, and man, it really made you say, Now they just making movies. They like Rampage right now. They like that movie Rampage with The Rock, that was based off the arcade game from the 80s, early 90s. Well, I'm assuming that was the 80s. Yeah, they just making movies like Rampage right now. They're not even trying. It's just like, ooh, dinosaurs on an island. They're roaring and biting people. Yeah. Like I'm very disappointed. Very disappointed. But anyway. How much can you earn on OnlyFans? OnlyFans sets minimum and maximum subscription rates. The minimum subscription price is $4.99. Put 5 on it. Anyway, $5.99. $4.99 per month, and the maximum subscription price is $49.99 per month. If you really want to see some pussy. All right. Creators can also set up tips or paid private messages starting at a minimum of $5. Paid tips and private messages can not only boost earnings, but help creators engage their fans and build a loyal following. Okay. That's the only information we needed on that one. Get paid off OnlyFans fan referrals. Nope. Don't care about that. Subscription-based method. Don't care about that. I'm going to get to the part that we care about. Social media. Nope. That's all a bunch of perfunctory. Here's the part. OnlyFans statistics. This is the part that matters. OnlyFans has paid out more than $2 billion to creators at the time when Bella Thorne, who is that? At the time when Bella Thorne was setting OnlyFans alight, August 2020, Variety reported that OnlyFans had paid out more than $1 billion to creators by November 2020. This information was saying that this figure had risen to $2 billion. Bella Thorne earned more than $1 million in her first 24 hours. That is insane. Actress, singer, and model Bella Thorne. See, I honestly didn't know who that was, to tell you the truth. I hear the name, but I don't know that much about her. I didn't know she was an actress, singer, or model. I just would have guessed porn star. But made quite an impact during her short period on OnlyFans. Her time on the platform may have been brief, but it was clearly eventful. She joined OnlyFans August 2020, setting a platform record in her first 24 hours, earning more than $1 million in revenue. She had enabled this by announcing her plans in a video montage on her Instagram account, where she has 24.3 million followers. You know, and that goes back to my point. They're never going to be completely out of the water. Those who have some type of Instagram following, whether it's 24 million or 24,000, of your 24,000 followers, if you can get 100 of them to want to spend money on you monthly, then you're going to make some money. But then it's a question of how much. It's a question of how much, because it's going to end up being something like this. They're going to always find another website to go to. They're going to always find another website to go to. I always think about that. They're going to find another website to go to. And if the average person is paying $20 times 100, that's $2,000 a month that she's going to try to not pay any taxes on. And she's going to live off that $2,000 a month. That just is what it is. As long as you have places where you can legally, legitimately build the following, you can always go somewhere else and bring your following there and have them pay you money. Now, it is a legitimate question, because I make the mistake of doing this all the time. I apply, to be sexist here, I apply man logic and business thought and acumen to some shit that some thoughts are doing, and they probably not thinking business. They probably just, thinking, I want to show my pussy for money, but they're not really, breaking it down or really thinking about it from a good business perspective. Obviously, some of them making real good money. Some of them do got a business mind along with their thoughtiness, but it's a lot of them who don't got a good business mind, so they probably will go under. But like I said, to quote Ian Malcolm, thoughts will find a way. Or to paraphrase Ian Malcolm, thoughts will find a way. Mr. Shane Vicious says, this OnlyFans shift sounds awfully like Tumblr. I don't even know that much about Tumblr. Elroy Jetson. That's funny. That's very funny. Before long, her earnings had doubled to $2 million. She had set her OnlyFans subscription at $20 per month. That was a guess. With a limited 20% discount for 1 month. Thorne later claimed that she had opened her OnlyFans account as an experiment. Okay, don't care that much about her. Most accounts, here goes the big part that, a lot of us in this space know, but I just want to get through some of this part. But it's some good stuff in here. But most of the accounts take home less than $145 per month. Most performers do not make a fortune on OnlyFans. Indeed, the majority of them receive less than $145 per month. However, it must be pointed out that one reason for this inequality, that's the wrong word in my opinion, is inequality, is that the majority of OnlyFans accounts have no fans at all. That's a fair point. Just like on YouTube, most people got a YouTube channel with 6 subscribers or no subscribers. So people be setting up OnlyFans accounts but don't be doing nothing with it. So that kind of skews the numbers. They aren't set up for serious broadcasting. Okay. Top 1% of accounts make 33% of the money. However, as XSRUS observes, the revenue of content creators follows a classic power law distribution. The top performers earn substantially more than everybody else. The top 1%. This is a key part that I was breaking down, but I didn't have the numbers right in front of me. The top 1% accounts make 33% of all the money, and the top 10% of accounts make 73% of all the money. So when you look at the total number of people that's on there, even some of that top 10%, you do the math, they're not making that much money, but definitely the top 5% is making money. But even if I give it that the top 10% is making money, the definite the bottom 90% ain't getting the damn thing. I would argue that the bottom 95%, but I don't need a mathematician to crunch the numbers on that. But I would argue that the bottom 95% ain't getting the damn thing on that. Of course, influencers and celebrities have a natural advantage when it comes to we know that. Average earnings from OnlyFans is of 180 per month. But those calculations exclude tipping, as there is no information available about money received in tips on OnlyFans. That's a fair point too. So some of them probably making more than what it seems. OnlyFans takes a 20% cut on its users' transaction. OnlyFans business model is straightforward. They provide a platform, paywalled content creators, make exclusive content. All right. 500,000 new users per day. Everybody who's jumping on there, all 500,000 of them are not showing badge. That just the reality of the situation. People, I don't know why people just setting up accounts because that many people, 500,000 a day is like eventually you're going to run out of women. Okay. At the time, probably sounded like a lot. However, users have continued to flock to platforms, as we referred to earlier. Matchable quotes and OnlyFans representative who claimed that the number of users and content creators nearly doubled in the month of March 2020 alone. Woo! That sort of related. Ain't no sort of to it. That March 2020 definitely related to the shutdown, to the CV, the virus shutdown. March 2020. That's about when they start shutting the world down. Late March. So they doubled in there. That's very telling. That is very, very telling. Multiple reports of December 2020 quotes Tim Stokely as saying OnlyFans averages 500 new users per day. That just sounds crazy. 7,000 to 8,000 new content creators per day. 50 million registered users. But at that 500,000, okay. Wait, hold on. 50 million registered users. 7,000 to 8,000 new content creators a day. Okay, 500,000 new users per day. That's people who use it. So I made a mistake right there. They said 500,000 people, new users, not content creators. That's why I got confused. It said 7,000 to 8,000 new content creators per day. Those are people who are looking to make money on there. The 500,000 users are the people who are using to do something, to look at some badge. All right. So I'm going to make sure I clear that up. I made a little mental typo right there. Total of 50 million registered users. We strike the same problem with lack of official registered user numbers as we did for content creators. We can merely extrapolate from the article published over time. Okay. So a lot of nuance in numbers to break down there, but overall, in conclusion of everything that we gathered, average earnings being, 180 per month, top 1% making the majority of the money, top 10% making 73 of the money. And most women are not on there banking and just cleaning it up like that. And seeing as there are other places that they can go to sell vag, I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. Some of them will have to pivot. The ones on the bottom making 500 a month, 600 a month. They may not be able to transition smoothly to something else. They may have to put in that Subway application. They may have to get on a man's program or something like that. But I'm not looking for any major change. I don't foresee it. I see the game still being the same. I think the things that actually matter, like when we talked about the she session, that's going through a session, but put a she in front of it, you get it. But going through a recession, but put a she in front of it. Can't talk. That matters. Women losing a lot of jobs, that matters. women being unemployed and women being broke, that does affect the dating market. It does. But as a man, you should be in a position, in a place where that's not what you. I don't know if people are actually waiting on that to happen so I can get in the game now. Or if that's the straw man that they try to hit us with. I don't know if that's the case. I don't know which one of those is true. I tend to believe that that guys are not just waiting for something like that to crash just so they can get on with some chick that was trying to sell pussy on the internet. I hope that's not the case. But overall, when you look at everything that happened after the virus hit, everything that happened after the virus hit, and everything that's still happening, and how and why winter is coming with so many women losing jobs and everything, you can't get around that point. That on a macro scale, the dating market is affected, will be affected. And OnlyFans plays a part in it, but not really. Because I just look at chicks that's on some thotty OnlyFans stuff. Like they gonna figure out a way to continue being thoughts. That's just my opinion. But the world changing and culture changing and what's getting put out there in media is changing. I think it has seeped into the brain of a lot of women that this surviving without a man thing is something that they need to rethink and reconsider. I think some of them are rethinking and reconsidering that. Mr. Shane Bitch is in the building. He said OnlyFans will end up making PH and Cam Soda a lot of money. I don't know what you mean by that. Shout out to you. Appreciate the super chat. Before the billion says, shout out to Bernard. Kevin Samuels was right. Subway is hiring. Yeah. The ones who was making that I guess the bottom 30%, definitely. I would argue the bottom 90%. The bottom 90% on OnlyFans. Yeah. Subway is hiring. Get the Walmart applications ready to go. That much is true. That much is accurate. I was listening to Fresh and Fit last night. Yes, Fresh and Fit. Yes. Still listen. They got a great platform. Cut it out. Cut it out. Let me fix something real quick. Hold on. I didn't pull too many punches on the criticism, but overall, yeah, they got a great platform. But yeah, I did 3 streams on the recent boondoggle that they were involved in. I did three streams on it. I cashed in on that shit. Yeah, I did. Guilty as charged. But I was listening to them and somebody had super chatted them something and said basically something along the lines of he was saying something similar to what I kind of laid out here, that overall it's not going to change. They're going to figure out a new place, a new site to sell the vag ultimately. And he said the regular guy, the average guy, still has to put in the work. And I understand where he was coming from. And generally it is some truth to that, but that speaks to the mindset that there are some people who are looking at it in that way, like OnlyFans getting shut down. This is opportunity for us to get with chicks who sell pussy on the internet. I hope that that's not the case. The guys are looking at this like that. But that super chat kind of implied that he was that the guy who sent the super chat to Fresh and Fit was basically trying to tell the guys don't look at it that way. But the mere fact that he's going out his way to try to tell them not to look at it that way makes me think that there are a percentage of guys who are looking at it that way. And if you're looking at it that way, you're looking at it wrong. The best way to look at things is on a macro scale. Okay. Look at things on a macro scale and give macro analysis of what's happening on a macro scale. But the micro, regardless of what's happening with the macro, your micro, yourself, No matter how bumpy that terrain is, I've been saying this plenty of times. No matter how bumpy that terrain is out there, you goddamn man, you gotta figure out a way to ride on it. Yeah, I hate the term, but yeah, you gotta alpha your way through whatever the situation is. Laws changing take a lifetime. Culture changing takes a lifetime. You don't fight to change laws and cultures just so now I can finally have my day in the sun. Like, you do that for the big picture. You do that for the future. You do that for your children. If you're fighting for that kind of stuff, you're fighting for the next generation. You're not even fighting for yourself. You're on that bumpy terrain and you got to ride on it. So I don't want guys to start looking at this from a perspective of women are going to come back to the table and now I got a chance. You should be looking at it like, I wasn't going to say this, but Kevin Samuels been talking about that. Hey, big head, like I got the man. And when everybody been talking about, oh yeah, they got women coming back out the woodwork or this or that, like I did. That happened to me yesterday or the day before yesterday. It did. One of them, yeah, it just came out of no goddamn where. And it was like, just look. She looked like I'm damn Martian to me. It was a chick I used to mess with. I trust me, zero interest, zero interest. But she fits in that category. She's demographically in that category. Will not where she was 24 back when me and her used to mess with each other. That may have been 2014. Yo, no, ain't no May to it. Definitely 2014. So right now, do the math. Okay, now she's over 30, has some kids, and then she tried to, I'm not gonna go into too many details with it. But when everybody had been saying that all these chicks, they trying to crawl back and everything or this or that, I used to always kind of side eye that, like, dudes are making stories up. But I did have one situation that literally fit. It just happened. It just happened recently, and it fitted to a T. It fitted to a T. It was a perfect stereotype of the exact situation. No, she didn't just send the literal "Hey, big head" text, but it was a random Facebook. How you can call on Facebook, call somebody FaceTime on Facebook, and I was just like, no. Don't try to charge me up, Clue. don't try to charge me up, because I be charging people up with capping when they tell these. Don't. I said I was done. I wasn't gonna talk about Fresh because he told some capified stories. I ain't lying with mine. I could prove it. I could prove it. Help. Let's punt, pass, and kick. Veto worship up out of here. Let's get him. Let's call him an Uber. Let's nope, not that one. Where's the one I'm looking for? Right there it is. Let's get him the hell up out of here. Let's get him the hell up out of here. No, that's not a timeout. That's a hide. That's a hide. Go on and get. I don't want to see him again. I don't want to see him again. Let's get him going for good. That's a hide. No, stop timing him out. Let's hide him. Let's hide him. Let's hide him. I'm waiting to see the hide. There we go. Way to go, Paul Gang. Way to get him out of here. Get him on out of here. That's what we do. I haven't done that in a while. I normally don't. Well, I've probably done it. I typically don't. Well, I just haven't played this in a while. Put it like that. I got two versions of it. One of it with the fat dude laughing.
No.
That fat dude laughing is funny as hell. And I don't even know if that dude is fat. He just got a fat person's laugh. He got a fat person's laugh out of this world. Oh, man. About to open it up a little bit. We can chop it up a little bit about this. But like I said, the OnlyFans thing, not a big deal to me. Oh, one thing that I was about to do a show on this, but I just decided to go a less controversial route. I was about to do a show on the whole Brother Polite situation, but I decided I wasn't going to be controversial today. Not today, but overall, man, it's so much wrong in that situation. There's so much wrong in that situation, but when I look at one of the reports, I don't care when they're talking about stuff and it sounds like, speculation. Well, she said this, or this person said this, or this happened, this was said, blah, 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 blah. I typically don't care about that. What I do care about is when they talk about an actual report of, they're talking about DNA evidence. Now, if they've just made that up and put it in the article, then okay. But typically, when DNA evidence is involved, it's a wrap. It said semen was on the shirt in 6 different spots. That's a wrap. To me, you're guilty and you can't talk out of that one. You can't talk your way out of that one. Like, that's just, you just guilty and you're guilty and you're guilty. And so that's why it's almost not that much to cover. The reason I hesitate to cover it, because I will find myself just beating up on pro-blacks. Because when somebody is guilty and they did something wrong and it just is what it is, I normally just don't say this guy's a sick monster, blah, 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 blah. I mean, he is. If he did everything that he's accused of, yeah, he is. But normally I like to look at big picture. I like to look at, is this person in contradiction? Like the Derrick Jackson situation, it wasn't just a big deal only because he cheated on his wife. It was because of everything that he said before. So if you look at everything that Brother Polite said before, yeah, it's crazy when the people who purport themselves like they care about the black community the most, and they be the ones doing the worst to it. That's and so the reason I've been hesitant to talk about that, because I would easily transition from not just talking about him, but just talking about the whole conscious pro-black game where, yeah, it just comes off like a game. That's just all to it. But I pumped the brakes on doing a show on that because I just didn't feel like beating up on the pro-blackity black we black y'all conscious community, because that's what it would have came off as. So I just let it go. But Lil Big Nate did a damn good show on that. Number of things there that I'll just briefly touch on. I see I got somebody in the back chat, so we're about to get that going real quick. But one thing that it's a few things. One, I think he married to like 4 women, so he got a girlfriend on the side. What the hell is he doing with the daughter? Why the mother allowing some man to go with the daughter? Supposed to be going to a club in Miami. The club was closed, so they went to a hotel while waiting for other party locations. Like, when I hear stuff like that, I'm like, okay, yeah, he's a complete, total piece of shit, but what the hell is the mom doing? There's so much wrong in that whole situation, man. It's so much. It's disgusting. It's disgusting, but it was all kind of stuff going on there. I had the articles ready to go, but I'm about to bring them up. And me and CJ NBM in the building. What's going on, brother? Oh shit, I can't hear you. Hold on.
Try again. That was me. My bad.
No, I had you. My sound was off too. But no, go ahead. You got the floor. You got the mic. You can speak on the original topic, even though I did segue a little bit, but go ahead.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave that one alone.
Yeah, that was wild. That was wild.
But yeah, I think that honestly, some guys are tipping their hand, right? Because we all talk a lot of guys talking about the strag, and I don't want to get married, and I'm tired of these women, and this, that, and the third. But you see, there is a segment of men who are secretly hoping that the women are forced to come back because they still want one, even though they say they don't. They're waiting for something to happen to where she has to come back. Some of these guys are waiting. They're not going to admit it, but that's what's going on to a degree.
Well, the hard part with that is separating the men who are confident in their MGTOW position, they're single, they live in their best life, or they just live in their life, and they're happily single, and they have casual sex and hook up with who they hook up with, and that's that. There are those that do that, and they cool with it, and they happy with it. Then there are some in this space that, you know, yeah, they would like, you know, they probably, you know, gun shy about signing those legally binding documents at the courthouse. They don't want to do that shit, but they do want to have a family someday. So there are some people who legitimately would like to see the culture change, but I can agree with you if your point is they're doing it wrong if they think OnlyFans being shut down is going to be the catalyst. Because if OnlyFans chicks are going to change their whole tone and tune right now because OnlyFans shut down, now they can't make they little you know, $1,000 a month, you know, showing their badge on the internet. That ain't the chick. If you want a family, that ain't the right chick, you know.
Yeah, anyway. But I think they're looking at it from like a total. They're thinking like it was a pandemic, and a lot of jobs got shut down, and it's looking like it might be another shutdown, and a lot of jobs ain't coming back, and then OnlyFans getting shut down. So they thinking, okay, 2 more things, and Keisha coming home. That's what they thinking. They thinking Keisha on her way home.
Well, from a macro scale, I don't think there's nothing wrong with a guy looking at all the things that's changing, you know, economically in this country in terms of jobs. Because, I mean, we do got to acknowledge this simple point. Women making up over close to 50% of the workforce, that does make a difference on a macro scale. You as an individual man, you got to figure out how to drive on however bumpy that terrain is. But on a macro scale, yeah, it's a lot of women out there who they can go make their little money. Like I always say, they live $40,000 a year in an air-conditioned cubicle and make just enough to put a roof over their head and electricity and running water, and they don't need to get on board with a man. Well, if that is taken away, that will be a big societal cultural change where, you know, everything that we complain that feminism ultimately did that changed the culture and changed relationships as a whole. Yeah, that it's nothing wrong with men acknowledging that some pressure is being applied or some pushback against it is happening, and women are going to have to view things differently. They're going to have to view being with the man differently. There's nothing wrong with that.
I don't have a problem with it at all. I just think that it's just funny because a lot of guys is acting like they don't care what they do, but it's coming out. No, you do care. And
well, hoping that if you're gonna make that argument, you got to find the exact same guy who was saying, "Oh, I don't care. I don't want to be with these chicks. I don't want to be with nobody." Blah 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 or whatever. And then also, if you find that same guy also rejoicing at the she session and everything, and in the implications of it, then you found that individual guy in the contradiction. What happens is it's a lot of different schools of thought in the manosphere, and some of those different schools of thought contradict with each other. And some people will try to take one person's thoughts over here and the other person's thoughts over here, merge them together and say, y'all in contradiction, but it's really just 2 different groups. You know, what Ramil talk about on his channel, how he just talking about pump and dump for life.
He's not worried about it.
yeah. So that's what I'm saying. He's not worried about it. But me, I do look at, you know, families matter. Black men leading their families and raising children, you know, that matter. So, I mean, it's no matter how you slice it, if problems are going to get solved, I mean, perhaps there's a way to solve it without families, but, you know, a strong family unit, if we're talking about producing the type of black men that we want to see, then yeah, I think you got to grow them from within. So if something if something catastrophic happens that actually causes black men and black women to get together and work it out and actually raise some families in a way that makes sense, I'm good with it, because that's going to produce better black people. That's going to produce better black men with a better mindset. So I'm all for it. So, but however, how you can't look at people who think like me. There's sectors in the manosphere who think like me, and then there's sectors that look like that think more like Ramil. And I don't knock Ramil. I'm on board with Ramil pretty much with everything. Yeah. Hey, I done been there and done that. But so I definitely rock with people who their reaction to this current dating environment is that I'm going to stay single and have a casual sex life, but I'm going to be on my grind, going to make my money, going to work hard, going to do what I got to do, going to build my business, going to do this, going to do that. And hey, that is a proper response to this current dating environment. Stay single, keep everything close to you, make sure don't nobody else benefit or profit off of what you're building, and do it your damn self. The only flaw in that, if you pull it back, you don't have no kids, and you know that next generation is just gonna be more of the same. Cause Shaquanda, she gonna find somebody. She gonna if the smart, intelligent brothers make a smart decision and pull back and say, I ain't never, getting in no serious relationship, never having no kids, never this, I'm pulling back. Pookie, J Rock, and Nuck Nuck, they gonna give their community semen to somebody, and those kids gonna get raised. Those kids gonna get raised by some chick who we know statistically is doing a horrible job. So which means it's going to be more of the same. So if you're trying to solve the generational problem on a macro scale, it's hard to do that without, black men and black women figuring it out. But the individual standing right here today, if he just say, damn all of that, I got to do what I got to do to make sure I'm good, then everything Ramil is saying is 100% on point. And that's why I don't knock it. But it is different schools of thoughts, or people who focus on different aspects of this problem, so to speak.
Okay, I got a question for you. Of the large portion of black men who are in the middle class and childless, what percentage of them do you think, let's just say Keisha came to them and said, you know what, I was out here hot girl summering, but I realized I made a mistake. I was wrong. I'm ready to submit. I'm ready to be your wife. What percentage of those guys do you think would take her back?
Keisha, who just got done hot girl summering for like 10 summers.
Yeah, if she came to
that, no.
Yeah.
No,
how many guys do you think would take it? What percentage?
I would hope a small percentage. I mean, that's not the answer for Keisha.
See, I don't know. I think it's a lot higher than we want to talk about. I think a lot of guys will take her back.
Well, okay. Are you talking about casual sex or?
No, I'm talking about like cuff. She said it depends on. Come back. She crying. She like, I'm sorry. I bought into the feminist idea, but I've realized to err in my ways. I want to be a family. I think a lot of guys would take that.
It depends on where that guy is at, because you got to remember that guy has the option of not dealing with Keisha, who been hot girl summering for 10 years. Okay, there's a chick who ain't been getting her Keisha on, who's younger without kids, who's younger, probably more fit, probably more feminine and childless. And
I'm saying no, she don't have no kids. This one in my example, she was out there, but she managed not to have kids. I think guys would be like, okay.
Well, I mean, yeah, okay. So you're talking about a guy, let's just say a 35-year-old guy, and then some 30-year-old chick who she ain't got no kids, she ain't got no trail of babies walking behind her, but she was out there wilding and doing her thing. But she show up to him with no kids, presenting herself well. He don't know everything that she's done. Let's make that clear. There's no way he can know everything. he can tell she probably was out there, but he don't know how many dicks she done bounced on. But he knows she was probably out there a little bit. But if she come to him talking like she making some sense and presenting herself well, and he actually does want to have a family, then yeah, I think those two people, they can work something out. It's possible. Yeah. So in that regard, I think I would say a relatively high percentage of black men, if they want a family, they want a family and they 35 and they ready to just get in a relationship. No, I mean that's damn near the most you can ask for nowadays, unfortunately, because there's no such thing as ain't no virgins walking around here.
Yeah,
that's
not
a
these
wrap.
days.
So if a chick show up with her head on straight and no kids, and she look good, that's that you can't ask for much more than that if you want a relationship. For her to look good, be in decent shape, no kids, and at least acting like she got her head on straight. That's you can't ask for much more than that. But a perfect blackness in the building with the $5 super chat. Appreciate it. Where we at? Mr. Shane Vicious in the building says conditions may change, but the daggle will stay the same. Okay, if you're talking about the thottiest thoughts, then yeah, I mean that's why it gets pointless when people do that. Desperate daggles. I mean, I kind of made the similar point that those who are hell bent on thotting it up will thought it up. I mean, it is what it is. Desperate daggles aren't really prime candidates to raise families with. The simp is welfare. Yeah, I mean, if you're talking about the daggle of the daggle, yeah, I mean, like that's one thing that I was trying to tease out in my whole opening monologue. I was just trying to basically get down to the bottom of it. Are guys literally thinking OnlyFans shutting down? Guys literally thinking OnlyFans shutting down somehow means that women are going to all of a sudden the same women that was flashing vag, they're gonna all of a sudden become good housewives. He says that's most black women. This conversation is predicated on OnlyFans, that 7,000 to 8,000 new users, content creators per month. That's not majority black women. Like let's not get goofy with this. All right, I broke down the data on everything that's wrong with black women. Like I definitely understand that, but I mean, I don't necessarily see the point in just saying, but that's most black women. Most women nowadays are in America are living a free, do what they want when they want, how they want to do it mentality. So that just is what it is. Black women is at a higher percentage rate than other women.
Yeah, but I think a lot of them, well, a good portion of them are open to realizing the error in their ways.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's a lot of them out here, but it's at varying degrees. And I think some of them that are not that extreme, a lot of them they can still be reformed. I'll say.
Yeah, I mean, I don't care about the reforming. I'm okay if a generation is lost. I'm okay with that.
And that's pretty much what has happened. Honestly.
I'm okay with that. I'm not about the reform game. Those who have not completely, shout out to Lil Big Nate, those who haven't ruined their life yet, if they can somehow get it together and make something work out and do something that makes sense, then that's great. But then there's definitely younger ones who haven't had a full-blown chance to really ruin their life. If the information that makes sense is getting put out there, a lot of the information that Kevin Samuels is putting out there, a lot of red pill information is just going mainstream and all over the place. If the good information is getting out there, then yes, we can see the needle move. We can see the culture gradually change. We can see thought processes gradually change. We can see that. But as far as the chicks that's just out there doing ignorant shit right now, nah. I mean, I don't give a damn about them being saved or salvaged, and I don't see why anybody would or should.
Yeah, like once you go too far and you start having a bunch of kids and tattoos all on your neck and stuff, it's pretty much done for you. There's really nothing you can do at that point. It's a wrap.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of them, even if they changed, I mean, the reformed strag can end up with a reformed Pookie and they can come together.
That's what need to get together.
Yeah, reformed Strags and reformed Pookies can probably get together and build a happy life together. But I ain't taking in nobody.
Yeah, her and her 2 kids, and then him and his 3 kids, they can get together, be
Yeah.
a little Brady bunch. They can figure
Yeah,
that out.
you know what? I said that before. She's showing up with 2-3 kids, so she at a deficit. He got child support getting taken out from him from 2 or 3 kids, so he had a deficit. Both of their deficits need to come together and make a whole. They can do that. But a brother who don't got kids, who got his head on straight, who living a life that makes sense, hell no.
Yeah,
no,
not even
yeah.
no. The post track say doomsday.
He said it sounds like a doomsday prophecy to me.
Yeah, that could go real good or real bad. You never know.
Yeah, I mean, listen, a reformed Pookie and a reformed Strag can come together and hey, if they can come together and somehow raise some kids and produce some not as messed up not as messed up people, then I'm good for that. But I'm not putting myself on the line. Hell no.
Definitely not.
That ain't happening. So that's one thing that we got to be clear on. Like I like to see people, thinking correctly and doing what makes sense. But even though I could talk about that from a macro scale, what I as an individual do, I mean, I'm making decisions on a I won't say on a different level, but I'm not getting in it. The link in the chat, anybody else?
Yeah, it's like as you get older, it's like it's certain type of women you don't even want to have a conversation with. Now I'm over 30. It's like if I see the colorful hair and the tat, there's nothing we need to talk about. What we gonna talk about?
Yeah, no, I can't. I can't do
keep it moving, man. No, thank you.
I can't do the colorful hair at all. I can't do the colorful hair at all. The only tattoos that are okay, if the tattoos is in a sexy, artful place. Like if I don't care if she got like some upper thigh or inner thigh. I mean, well, I mean that does say something about that does say thought. But if you
well, the thing with those, what makes them so bad is that when they get them, they want everybody to see it. So it's like, yeah, you got an inner thigh tattoo, but if you would just kept it to yourself, it'll be cute for your man. But the thing is, everybody know you got it because you got to show everybody.
Yeah, I don't like them damn when it look like they got thug life tatted across their chest. I don't like that shit. they go and get the same kind of tattoos that men be getting. That's what
the big old joints, like that's too big. That's too much ink on a small woman. Like you shouldn't be doing that.
It's like that shit look goofy as hell. But we got sub to Kevin in sales.
Yeah, Kevin in sales. How you doing, Bernard?
Your name is Kevin in sales.
My name is Kevin. My name is Kevin in sales. Yeah, absolutely.
You got a channel, man.
I do. My channel is Kevin in Sales. Yep, I do have a channel. It's Kevin in Sales.
I'm typing it in right now, man. Are you getting a sub from me?
Thank you.
Name alone.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I've been doing live streams for about 6 months. I got kicked off of YouTube for 3 months, so I've been on for 9 months. But yeah, so I've been on for a minute. Yeah.
Yeah, drop the link in the back chat. I typed it in. It didn't pop up.
Kevin in Sales, Kevin in Sales, and then pop up. Okay,
is it all connected? Or because
it's all connected. Yeah, it's
okay. Well, let me try it all connected. But all right, I'm gonna pass the mic to you. You can go ahead and okay, there it is, right there. All right,
you found it. Okay, give me 1 second.
Got it. All right,
Kevin, I'm still gonna put the link in there for you on the private chat. There you go.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
All right, go ahead. You got the flow. You got the flow. You got the mic. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, I apologize too, man. I subbed to you about a few weeks ago. A friend of mine told me about your page, but I haven't got the opportunity to actually come over. And I saw your title, and the funny thing is that I just did a live stream talking about OnlyFans, and I pretty much was saying that I should, for the most part, be a consigliere or a counselor or an advisor to soon to be ex sex workers on OnlyFans, because a lot of these sex workers don't have any direction. And I'm not trying to generalize, but I think that a lot of them are in a great and phenomenal business. You know, the sex work industry is a $1 billion industry. And I don't know what you guys believe in, but modern man has been around for almost 100,000 years. And according to history, sex work has been here since the dawn of time. Mm-hmm. So they are in a great field. So what I'm saying is that a lot of women, if you're out there, if you happen to be listening to me, my name is Kevin Essels, and I can consult you. I can help you. I can. I understand the bottom line. And the
wait. How can you explain? How can you help them?
So what I would do, Bernard,
let me just skip to the end. You sound like a pimp.
No. I want to give that disclaimer. I'm not a pimp.
This is like educated lame pimp game.
No.
This is.
I'm not a pimp. I am a consigliere. A consigliere is the Italian word for advisor. I'm a consigliere.
What are you advising them to do?
What I would do is this. Just because OnlyFans is going to dismiss them starting October 1st does not mean that's the end all be all. Sex work will always be here. What they can do is they can, try to integrate their, I don't know if OnlyFans has analytics, but you can look and see how many people follow you, and you can get them to come over to your website that I can help you design. I can help you design your own website, set up a subscription ad for you, and you can get people to personally subscribe to your website. But you have to start now. So what I'm telling women out there, and what I'm telling gentlemen, is that if you know any sex workers, if you know any whores, any soon-to-be ex-whores on OnlyFans, you can get them to come to me at kevinessels1@gmail.com, and I can consult them. I can be an advisor. I have I have an extensive business background.
Okay, so I just want to make a few things very clear. Okay, so when you consult them and get them to take their analytics and their customer base, figure out how to move that the customer base over to another website,
to their website
that you set up for them, where you're basically trying to help them figure out how you're basically being essentially the middleman between them figuring out how to get their customers over to another place to buy the product from them, and you will ultimately, I take it, get a percentage.
Yeah, Bernard, listen,
that's a pimp.
Bernard, you're a scholar and a gentleman. You absolutely understand it. And let me ask you a quick question. Are you in the Divine Nine, by the way?
No.
Okay, you're just a scholar and a gentleman. You absolutely understand it. And people were accusing me on my channel of being a pimp. I said, I'm not a pimp. What I want is this. OnlyFans is taking 20%. OnlyFans last year made $2 billion off of pussy, and these bitches were giving them 20%. All I ask is, as a consultant, as a continued consultant, somebody that they can call upon, somebody that I will respond to them, just give me 5%. And I will help you develop the website. I will help you. I will help you understand SEO and everything you need to know to get the website up. I will even help you integrate your current platform over to your new platform.
Just have my money on Friday.
I beg your pardon?
Just have my money on Friday.
Sir, now you're trying to say that I'm a pimp.
Now, what happens in the event that the bitch better have my money? What happens when bitch don't have your money?
Well, sir, here goes the thing. I believe in the honor system. Mm-hmm. So on my page, I also talk about stock options. And what I say is this: if I provide you with a certain contract, are you guys familiar with stock options over here?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Okay, so if I provide you with the contract and I tell you, get into this contract, it expires December, whatever, it costs this amount. All I'm saying is because I advised you on it, just give me like a little 5% kickback. Now, if they don't do it, they just don't do it. If they do it, that's good. It's just an honor system. That's all I ask.
I was just curious to see if you had any strong arm tactics. If they
No, sir. Listen, it's not about the money. It's about me being a capitalist and understanding economy. Sex work drives the economy, and it does. Think about a place like Dubai or Vegas. If sex work did not exist, those places would not exist. Am I lying, guys?
No, you might be accurate. You might be accurate. All right.
Most men are taking their mistresses to Kansas City. They're taking them to Vegas. So they're funneling money into that economy, going to restaurants, driving around, hotels. Sex work is that. Listen, let me tell you something, guys, real quick. And this is what I said on my live stream. I'm pretty sure we are the same age. I'm 35. When Monica Lewinsky, when she gave Bill Clinton head in the Oval Office, think about what that did for media platforms. It increased their ratings. So when you had a commercial going on during the time slots, think about the amount of money that was generated to whatever business or product that was being sold in between those news outlets. Sex sells, man. And if any woman is out there, please, I understand the economy and I understand the beauty in sex work. So come to me, KevinTheSales1@gmail.com.
Right on. Good stuff. No one in the building with Super Chat. He says, will the generation of black women and black men both or both be lost? Our black men have a collective brain drain, smart black men out the community, and Pookie's will community seed. Thank you for the Super Chat. Appreciate that. Number 16 in the building said, these hoes don't need help. There are simps for that. Thank you for that Super Chat number 16. Also, a lot of people sent Super Chats when Kevin and Sales was cooking, so I had to let a lot. I didn't get to all the Super Chat. He says, what's he's charging for them advising console? We already went over that. I didn't even see that Super Chat. Me and you were thinking the same thing. Also, Young J 216, consult in exchange for some yams. You not slick, Negro. Trick game. Right on. Well, pimp game, actually. And number 16, he don't believe you. You need more people. He says, you not a pimp. You a rest haven for hoes. All right. Shout out to number 16. All right, here we go. We got Ricky Manor in the building. Go ahead. You got the floor. You got the mic.
What's good, Kevin and Sales? I was just thinking, instead of like having a bunch of hoes working and like different websites having them competing with each other, why not have them compete under one canopy where you will definitely get your money? Because when they come to you, which is this what, you know, and I'd be happy to partner this idea with you because we both got some background in website building, and you know, we both got backgrounds in marketing. I think we could be millionaires off this, man.
I think so too. I'll put my email in the back, and so we can definitely discuss business. I'm always open for it. Yeah.
And I was thinking more along the lines of when we start talking about like our brothers and sisters, you know, my man put me on some game the other day, and he was talking about how we're 57% living in middle class, with 57% in luxury. It's only the 18% of the Ray-Rays that are out there. So the thing is, why are we giving them? Dennis Sperling was the one who put those numbers out there on the screen. And I was thinking like, well, wait a minute. So why is this 18% getting the microphone when, you know, 57% of us are the businessmen, the entrepreneurs, right. You know, why are we putting, you know, because I'm wanting to do something. I'm venturing out in different avenues besides politics. I want to do entertainment to show like, you know, America, the working class black family, the black family that lives in luxury. I mean, if you think about it, look at the Cosby Show. That was like a unicorn at its time, but really that was a unicorn on TV. In reality, that was a lot of our realities. Mother and father in the house home, two successful parents. So I don't know why they're showing this 18% out there.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody can help me on this one?
Well, before we deal with that, LaRue Royale, hopefully I said that right, says shout out to all my ninjas. Never paid a dime to OnlyFans. 304 tap in, tap in. Now I never paid a dime to OnlyFans. That's no. I don't knock a guy paying in real life for some real life exchange. But if you're paying for some just a woman that I don't know, I don't get it. I don't get it. Pornhub is free, so I'll never understand it. I'll never understand it. But no, never paid a dime. Never paid a dime to OnlyFans. But all right, yeah. To what Ricky Manor said, I got nothing on. I'm caught off guard with that. I pass it to CJ. I don't know if CJ want to take that or Kevin and Sales want to take that.
Okay, Ricky, can you go over the last few talking points real quick?
Yeah, he was basically talking about how essentially the majority of black men don't fall into the category of pookies, and
That's true.
And then they but that's what's put out there a lot. I think the onus is on us. That's the only thing I'll say to that. The onus is on us to present something else and build our media platforms and get it out there and put a different image out there. You know, I think the pookies, you know, if it bleeds, it leads. That's more entertaining than a guy, you know, saying something that makes sense. But then there's people,
well,
like, I mean, I hate to keep referencing Kevin Samuels. That's an example of a guy in a suit who's saying some stuff that makes sense and is also entertaining. There's a lot of guys all throughout the manosphere who, you know, from all various different, you know, stripes of life. Some people, even with a pookie background, who can definitely give a good presentation, say a lot of stuff that make a lot of sense, and put an image out there. You know, shout out to everybody in this space. You know, as we talking Angry Man, BGS, Black Ram. We ain't seen Obsidian in months now, it seems, but you know, it's a lot of us out here who are putting out good information. These platforms are growing, and it just got to get to the point to where it's not just touching the internet, even though I think the internet is the way to go. That's the future, because, you know, even the mainstream TV is trying to put their stuff on the internet because more people watch and consume information just from their phone or online. A lot of people not even paying a cable bill. They just streaming everything. So internet and streaming is the way to go. So it's not on us to complain. Why are they? Because who the fuck is they? But why are they putting this image out there? It's on us to put out a better image. That's what I'll say to that.
Yeah, I totally agree, and I think the man who did the best example of this is Bill Cosby. The images that he put out back in the late 80s, early 90s were some of I think that was like the golden age, in my opinion, the golden age of showing very positive images of and using a medium to show a positive image of Black culture. I know he popularized HBCUs through that, through his electronic mediums as well. But I don't know if that could ever come back, considering the fact that, you know, in my opinion, you know, Bernard, you can disagree, or anybody can disagree. I think that we don't embrace intellectualism anymore. So I don't think that the image of the Black, and I don't think the image of the Black man, even though most Black men are not Pookies and Ray Rays, I think that the caricature of the thug or the criminal is so entertaining, or it's such a money maker that I don't think we can ever go back to the days of watching a TV program showing kids on a college campus walking around with you know, whatever historically Black college they go to, or whatever fictional college. I don't think that's. You disagree with that?
The reason I disagree, because it could be entertaining. Like, for example, Stump the Yard. That movie was entertaining as hell. It's a lot.
Drumline was entertaining.
Yeah, there you go. That's one. That was the first one. That was at the tip of my tongue. But yeah, Drumline, Stump the Yard, like movies like that are very good, are very entertaining. So they could put TV shows out there like that. But as far as the image, you know, Black male image, just looking at recent shows, I think it's out there. I just think the Pookie image overtakes it, because the Pookie image, I mean, it's on the news and everything too. You know, any news story that make major headlines about somebody who, you know, killed somebody, you know, that's going to make the headlines. But as far as there's recent Black dads on TV. Hell, I liked I don't care for the show that much, but the show Blackish, Anthony Anderson, he kind of goofy.
Yeah,
the dad
on stereotypical for me though, where he's trying to identify with a thug culture, and his kids are, you know, embracing the upper class life that a lot of our kids do live. My kids live that lifestyle, you know. So when I look at, basically the thing is, I think it's up to us as Black people to tell our own story. We're not telling our own story, and we're letting somebody else tell our story for us. And that's where I think we're screwing up at. And so I had to take on the reins. I recently, you know, got my own business and videography and whatnot. And I'm taking up the reins to actually tell the stories in a positive light. You know what I'm saying? Another thing that I think that we're missing out on too, as well, is good writing. You know, you can take something like The Cosby Show, and that could be very well true until this very day. But the thing that really bothers me, and I'm going to say it really infuriates me, is when I look at the Black sector of YouTube, and it's a bunch of drama. When just last summer we were talking about Black Lives Matter, we were talking about Black empowerment, you know, and then come the summer of 2021, all that's thrown in the wind. You got this big ass gender war, black man against black woman against black man, this black broadcaster against that black broadcaster, and it's like, this wasn't what I envisioned last summer was going to bring about. It's like, as soon as we got our sports and our entertainment back, we forgot, we were going somewhere.
When you say that you're, like, what exactly are you going to be doing? Like, to what degree? When you're saying I forgot how you explained it, but it sounds like you're doing more than just run-of-the-mill YouTube content. You're trying to like grow it beyond that. Like, what's the goal and vision? Like, what exactly? Elaborate on that a little bit more so I can understand.
Well, actually, I want to make movies, independent films.
Okay.
Independent films, online television shows. So basically, these actors and actresses that think that they got to go to Hollywood and suck some dick to get seen, we can do that on our own. We don't need to go through all of that. We don't have to exploit ourselves. And what I want to do is give that opportunity, because we have the technology nowadays. I have the software. I have the camera crews. I have the, if you name it, whatever they have, I have. I got the editing houses. I got connections to editing houses. The only thing is, when you're trying to do something like this, is that you get outshined by so many of your competition or your made people.
Speaking of being outshined, you over here talking about black empowerment, and Kevin and Sales done pulled up with a white girl. What the hell?
Hey, no. She's not white. She's not white. First of all, no. Let me explain myself real quick. First of all, that's a friend of mine. She's a model. I've been using that avatar since I got on YouTube, and everybody kind of like remembered me from that one avatar. I love dark-skinned women. I make videos about dark-skinned women. I'm actually engaged to a very dark-skinned woman. I make videos on how dark-skinned women are the gold standard, and all I dated was as dark-skinned women. No, let's not do that. Go ahead.
Hey, don't explain yourself. That's you, man.
Explain yourself.
Go ahead. No, I love dark-skinned women. Now, I made a video saying Sudanese women are the gold standard, and they are. I said all models, in my opinion, should be dark and beautiful and tall. Yeah, the girl that I'm about to marry is dark-skinned. Yeah.
Your fiance let you post
the avatar is nothing more than just a symbol of who Kevin is. It's just Kevin itself. It's just a symbol. It's just a symbol. Okay. It's a symbol. Right. Yeah. Right. It's a friend of mine. I've known her for years. I met her when she was she's a model. She's just a friend. It's nothing. Is that
what you tell your old lady?
She already knows that. Yeah. No, I don't like. No, I've only dated one white girl in my whole life, and that girl is multiracial. She's not, she's not really white. She's not really black. I don't know what she is.
Hey, all right. No, I believe you, and I'm joking, but just for the record, you ain't got to explain yourself over here.
I know.
Plenty of brothers over here that date women of all different types of races. Ain't no thing. Anybody tripping? I just couldn't risk it. I had to throw a jokey joke out there, but going back
to not your lady. What's her phone number? Let me get her phone number, man.
Shit.
I'm messing with you,
you good.
But I think that we could actually all. I think that if we was like to become collective of the energy that we invest, especially here online, that we use putting each other down. One of the videos that got me the most views, it disappointed me because I was responding to Cynthia G, right? And called her a weed-wearing wicked witch. And I'm like, okay, so this video got 3,000 views, but if I talk about what's going on in the world, it'll probably get about 200, 300.
Oh, my bad. You said Cynthia G, so that whenever somebody says Cynthia G, that clip just automatically pops up. I didn't even do it. Yeah.
Oh damn! But yeah, when I responded to her video, what she done with that Brian dude, everybody came, coming for me. They came for me harder than they did when I showed up here with the Confederate flag. I'm like, damn. So if I do something like that, it's like everybody wants to come and gossip and whatnot. But then if I talk about what's really going on in the world, throw out the research, what's happening here, because if we don't pull our shit together, man, we're not going to have a black race to hold together. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it disappoints me that drama and
how far are you along in that process to actually making the movies and whatnot? Because I like the idea. I like the idea, and I will push and advertise something like that. So I like what you're trying to do there. How far along are you in the process to actually getting some, films in production and whatnot?
I've actually just got finished filming the short version of a movie. It's a haunting movie, and that's what I'm using right now as a marketing pulley. And I'm going to a lot of the local businesses here in Charleston area, Columbia, my hometown of Greenville, where I grew up in Greenville, but I live in Charleston now. Going to these different places and trying to get them to throw some money at this, because here's the thing: in this conservative state, people want to see something more. I mean, you'd be surprised how many white people will look at this film and be like, damn, yeah, I can invest in this. Why? Because it's not showing all of the thuggishness. It's not showing the foolery. This is, a film industry that represents the American people, not what, some Hollywood image of what the American people is supposed to be. And, I get the meetings and whatnot, but yeah, I put together the short film already. And
you already got the film done?
Yeah, I got the short film version, but I'm trying to get the funds together so I can make it a feature. Okay. And if I can make it a feature, then I'm not going to use name brand actors or anything like that. I want to use local talent. I want to use talent that's not known people to get themselves a chance to actually be in front of the camera. We got a lot of talent that goes out to Hollywood that don't make it. I think that talent is what I can pull from that talent. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Because they wasn't approved by somebody out on the West Coast doesn't mean that they're not talented. I mean, I go to a lot of the local theaters here, and these men and women and children are very talented people. They just don't get their fair shake in it. Mm-hmm. And I think that's going to be the new marketing right now, because, I mean, everybody knows who Denzel Washington is, but nobody knows who Ricky Manor is. Now, I'm not trying to compare myself to him by any means, but I'm saying that when you look at some action films, you see what I'm saying? I could do just about everything they can do in those action films. I could perform my own stunts. I got another guy who he's a martial artist, a black guy. He's a martial artist as well, performs his own stunts, so he can make Jason Statham look like crap. You see what I'm saying? So it's like a lot of things that we are looking to Hollywood to do. We could be doing this for ourselves.
Yeah, no, good stuff. Good stuff. We've talked about that on this show a number of times. Image of black people in movies. I think one hurdle is whenever somebody try to do something to put out a good image, they got to understand like the image. It still has to be entertaining. It has to be good. It has to. I mean, it has to check every other box too. You know what I mean? It can't just say, "Oh, we're putting out a good image," but you didn't deliver on far as being entertaining. Like there's movies that put out a good, strong image. Like for example, we always got to go back to a Denzel Washington or a Will Smith movie. But like for example, like a movie like John Q. That movie was very entertaining, emotionally gripping, but it showcased a strong black father going the extra mile above and beyond for his son. And so you see how it depicted a black father in a strong image like that, but it also checked every other box in terms of plot, script, story, acting, the everything. It was some parts of it that made you laugh, some parts of it that made you cry. It did everything. So I think that's the part where when I look at a lot of people trying to put the good image out there, they normally don't check every other box, and then they say, "Oh, well, people don't want to see a good image." But did you really produce a solid product, overall, aside from the solid image? So I think that's normally one of the challenges that I see happening. I don't know if Kevin Sells wants to weigh in on that, but Big Mag the Fisher in the building says Ricky is right. He says we need to change what we consume. A house that doesn't watch Power, Empire. I don't watch either one of those. I may go back and watch Power someday. Probably not. Probably not.
Okay.
But I don't. Hold on, real quick. Let me read my super chats. I don't mess with Empire. Actually, well, I saw half of season 1 and tapped out. Real Wives, no, and such. We'll watch better programming. Shout out to you. Appreciate the super chat, and shout out to Tobias Seabrook. Ask old man where my book. Oh damn! You're just gonna pull it up on me and tell me to ask old man where your book. You ask old man where your book. I have no goddamn clue. I ain't I haven't talked to him since the last time you saw him on my show. So if you can find him, that's the question you want to ask him. Nah, but anyway, all right, go ahead, Kevin.
Yeah, so I do want to add to this. I guess I could look at it from a different perspective. I've always said that, in my opinion, we tend to generalize as people, but I could also argue that there have been positive images of blacks, 30 years ago, 40 years ago. The other day I had a discussion with a friend of mine who said, name me a positive black father that existed in the 90s in a film role in terms of American television. I said, one of the greatest TV dads in television history, I think one of the greatest TV dads, period, was Benjamin Sisko. That was played by Avery Brooks, who was Hawk in Star Trek Deep Space Nine. Here was a man who was commander of a space station. He was an integral part in terms of being an officer. He was a father. I don't know if you guys ever watched it, but this is one of the greatest television shows in the 1990s. It's not. What I'm saying is, but what I'm talking about specifically just with this one TV show, Star Trek Deep Space Nine, the main character was a black man. He was a good father. He was a good role model to the people around him. He was a good officer. And people tend to forget that, this show existed sometimes in terms of with a black male image. And this was in the 90s, and a lot of times, and I think science fiction really is probably the barrier where black people are always portrayed, not always, but particularly portrayed in a very positive light. But a lot of times we don't watch science fiction because it's not entertaining to us, I guess. But a lot of science fiction is that catalyst. Like, look at Black Panther. Black Panther, in my opinion, was not a black movie. It was a science fiction movie with black people in it. But look at what they were doing in terms of their ingenuity. Like, I don't know if anybody ever watched it for what it really was. Look at the technology that they had in that city. It was incredible, some of the stuff that they had. And I'm trying to think, like, why is it that we don't talk about science fiction a lot in the black community? Because science fiction, in my opinion, is that catalyst. I can't name, except for Homeboys in Outer Space, I can't think of any other science fiction that depicts blacks in a negative light. I think we're looking at the wrong things here. We're looking at drama and gangster flicks, but look at science fiction that shows you hope, shows you vision, shows you what we can be in the future. And that's what I love about science fiction in terms of dealing with black people. I think that could be the gold standard of a medium or of an electric or TV medium or movie medium for black people.
No, I like what you said about the science fiction that came up on this show.
Oh, really?
Well.
Okay.
Like, yeah. I looked at like, for example, and again, we always end up referencing Denzel Washington or Will Smith, but I Am Legend. Now,
I Am Legend,
yeah. When you look at that movie, yes, Will Smith, he was the gun wielding badass who survived the apocalypse, but he also was the intelligent doctor and scientist who found the cure, who did the experiments and found the cure, was testing it on the rats and then testing it on the zombie vampire things, because it's unclear whether they was considered zombies or vampires, but that's another debate. But yeah, so he was testing the cure, found the cure, saved, so he was everything. He was the intelligent, intelligent brute,
Yep.
Instead of oh, go ahead.
Do you know my favorite person in the world that I think is a badass? I actually have a movie in treatment in his memory. And nobody ever talk about this brother. Ronald McNair. He blew up in the space.
Yeah. Challenger, Space Challenger. Yep.
Yeah.
1986.
He was a martial artist. He was a fighter pilot. He was a jazz musician, and he was a ladies' man. I have a movie right now where the main character's name is Johnny Rockwell. He's the American version of James Bond. Okay. And basically, when I put this concept down on the table, my crew sat down and was like, "Holy shit, how did you think of this character?" And I just opened up one of my old history books. I've always kept my history books from school. And I opened up my history book where I had his picture circled. They was like, "Isn't that the guy from the Challenger?" I was like, "Yeah." I said, he was a fucking martial artist. He was a fucking fighter pilot. He was a fucking physicist. I mean, he was a badass all the way around. But we don't talk about him. And I want to know why we don't, put characters like him on the forefront. which goes to show you in the part of South Carolina he grew up in, it was very segregated. It was very, he went against the odds and became something great. You see what I'm saying? Like, NASA was a very racist organization back then. They didn't want to put black men in outer space or give them leading roles like that. So why can't I honor his memory? And that, he was one of the people that I looked up to. I'm an astronomer as well. So he was one of the people that I looked up to when I was thinking about all this. And I'm like, damn, if that man had been alive today, I would have loved just to sit down and drink a beer with him and just pick his brain.
Yeah. And to piggyback off what you're saying, when we talk, not we, I don't want to say we as everybody, but when black people talk about negative images in media, I say, well, again, I use the Star Trek Deep Space Nine, or we would say Geordi LaForge of Star Trek The Next Generation. But in terms of practicality, look at Neil deGrasse Tyson. He did Cosmos. He redid Cosmos from what Carl Sagan did in the 80s. And if not, it was more popular. Neil deGrasse Tyson is the most popular scientist, for damn sure the most popular physicist in the country. Same thing with S. James Gates, another black man. So we are in positive lights in the media. So when people say, well, we're always in negative lights, I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about. Because S. James Gates, Neil deGrasse Tyson, white people love him. Black people, the black people I know love these people. And they're always on TV. They're always on, YouTube, etc. So, I just have a different outlook on it. Yeah.
Neil deGrasse Tyson said something really important. I was muted for a second and didn't know I was trying to talk. But one thing that he said that he was, as far as he knows, because he paid attention. Once he saw it, he paid attention and he noticed he didn't see this for 5 or 6 years after it happened, where he essentially was as far as he could tell, he was one of the first black people that was brought on TV as an expert. This was sometime in the 80s, one of the first black people that was brought on TV as an expert to talk about something that didn't have nothing to do with being black. He could be wrong on that, but that's something that he looked out for, that he noticed, because I remember he explained something how, and this was when he was in college, and I'm assuming this may have been in the 70s, probably was in the 70s, where an asteroid was going to fly by. It was going to fly by close by Earth. Some people were speculating that, oh, this asteroid is going to hit us. It's going to kill us. Well, then, but he was, an astrophysicist when in college. He hadn't, finished school yet. But he did. He looked at the asteroid, saw, figured out, okay, how big is it? How fast is it going? Where is it in proximity of Earth? And then he ran the numbers, did the calculations, and find out, no, it's just going to sail over Arizona. There's going to be a little debris in the desert. Everything will be fine. He basically he did the science and figured it out, and then they found him and put him on the news to explain. So here he is, just some black college student basically delivering the message to the world that we're not going to die. Everybody relax. And he said that when he had the thought go through his head that he was one of the first black people that was on TV giving expert analysis on something. They have nothing to do with black. They didn't want to know how the asteroid affected the black community or nothing like that. They just wanted his analysis on it. And he watched after that to see when was the next time he saw a black person on TV as an expert to speaking about something that didn't have nothing at all to do with being black. And he said it was 5 or 6 years before he saw it again. Things like that matter as well. And that's why I like people like Neil deGrasse Tyson. He don't talk about blackness. I mean, he will if he's asked, but he don't talk about that. He talk about his expertise, and he's, presented in a way to where, or he presents himself in a way to where people ain't even thinking about his race. And so that's an aspect, that's a factor in the equation as well when you look at this thing. So I always have some disagreement when somebody says the image is not quite right. I mean, there's some things that are wrong with it. Any deficit in that, that deficit needs to be closed by us, by black people. So, and that's where I'm at with it. So that's why, I salute Ricky Manor and whatever, and what he's trying to do. As it starts to play out more, man, keep me posted. I'll do on my little platform. I'll promote it as much as I can on my little platform. So definitely keep me posted on that. We're gonna wrap this up at the 2 hour mark. We're 154 minutes. Well, I mean 1 hour.
Hey,
and
thanks
54
for having
minutes
me
into
on
the
today,
stream.
man.
Yeah. Go ahead and give your closing thoughts. Well, before you do that, Tobias Seabrook says, "My bad. You're correct. I'm hunting him. Good. Go hunt him down. And when you find him, let me know where he at." He says, "LOL. Good work." Shout out to you. Go ahead. I can get your last closing words. No, hold on, my man Theo Wolf in the building. He says Neil deGrasse Tyson is one of my personal heroes. Mine as well. Greatly helped my image as a black man in the U.S. And my hobby is astrophysics. Is it astronomy or is it astrophysics? Those are two different things, Theo.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Let me get your email, man. We got to be in touch, man.
I don't know if astrophysics can be a hobby. Astronomy can be a hobby. I don't know if
Astronomy is
astrophysics.
my hobby.
Yeah, astronomy is a hobby. I mean, if you just like to stare at the stars with the naked eye, you're basically an amateur astronomer. But
I wanna point this out real quick. I know you're wrapping things up.
Yeah.
Star Trek Discovery, one of the newest iterations of Star Trek. It just came out 4 years ago.
Mhm.
Black leading character Sonequa Martin. Black leading character, dark skinned, beautiful woman. She was a commander for the first 3 seasons. The last season or the season finale, she was promoted to captain, and it just goes to show this is another show that people are overlooking. A black woman is the lead character, and she is the captain. She is the captain of their ship. So just pointing that out here. Yeah,
we don't like black women over here, so I don't count.
Well, nevertheless, whether you do or you don't, just point it out. Okay.
No, I know. I hear you.
Yeah, if a black woman can't keep a family together, how the hell is she gonna pilot a ship?
right.
Yeah, just pointing that out, though.
Yeah.
Every
time they get midway through a mission, she's gonna abort the mission. She's aborting all their missions.
Well, guys, it was great being over here, Bernard. I put the email in the private chat. Ricky, was good meeting you as well. My email is in the private chat. It's kevinsales1@gmail.com. I also have my own channel, Kevin and Sales. Guys, please feel free to come over for Shock Jock Humor, entertainment. I talk about science. I talk about math. I talk about red pill shit. Talk about whatever. But Bernard, thank you very much, man. And hopefully you will allow me back up on the panel again. Ricky, let's do business, man. Yeah.
Let's do it.
Oh, and guys, by the way, absolutely. Thank you very much. And guys in the chat, thank you very much for calling me a nerd. Also being enthused by the science shit that I was talking about. Thank you very much. And guys, have a good one. Peace.
Oh yeah, and be checking your email. Probably going to send you a goofy email right now, Kevin and Sales, just so I don't lose your email. So just ignore this email, but this is just the email I'm sending, so I don't lose your email. I'm just typing in a bunch of gibberish right now and hitting enter. So
sounds good.
I'll okay, because I'll probably email you. We'll figure out a topic. I'll probably bring you back on for a one-on-one. I think you're entertaining as hell. So
sounds good. Thank you very much.
If you're up for that. All right. Cool,
I'm definitely am. Thank you. Okay, have a good one.
Cool.
Peace.
All right, guys. Everybody, thank you. Everybody who came through today, who liked, shared, subscribed, did anything to support the show. Appreciate each and every one of you. And with that said, family, we are out of here. Peace.
Thanks for having me on, Kevin.